Millions have lost their livelihoods in India and the world, as 2020 brought with it a crisis no one could have imagined. The worst hit have been the most vulnerable, those on the borderline who have been pushed out. It is they who need the most help. At Social Venture Partners, leaders from across the globe have been working together for 2 decades to help bridge the gap and transform lives. The mission is to help create 1 million livelihoods by 2022 by working with organizations committed to change.
Social Venture Partners has one important mission globally, which is to bring equity back into the world. Because there is so much of divisiveness and factionalism that's happening in every part of the world, that we really believe that we should do our bit to make equity happen, get othering out of the phenomenon that we see everywhere, and bring more inclusion in the world.
The issue of creating sustainable livelihoods is the biggest concern across the world today, and in India, it is at a crisis point. To address this, SVP works on 2 aspects: funding social ventures that are creating jobs and working with them to scale up and build capacity. Often, it's a combination of the 2. This is led by the various chapters of SVP spread across the country.
I'm personally very proud of 2 things in SVP India, particularly over the last 3 years. We've seen every one of our city chapters focused on growth. Growth in impact, growth in the community we serve, and growth in the number of partners who are engaged in a common agenda. I'm also very proud of the fact that we are now seriously looking at engaging youth into our venture, because it's young minds, young spirit, young philanthropic efforts that will make all the difference. So I think these 2 for me are extremely important aspects of the brotherhood and the partnership that we have built and will continue to build going forward.
SVP is driven by 7 city chapters spread across India. The team is young and ambitious, and it has been able to scale up the reach and impact, allowing philanthropists to really drive change. In Bangalore, the SVP chapter is focused on helping solve complex challenges and create impact at scale. Over the last 9 years, they have been funding programs that have come with significant risk and require patience. This has paid off, as can be seen with the success of projects like Justice in Care that works with destitute women, and ATRI that supports forest communities in the Western Ghats by providing them a means of livelihood.
We have been working in VRLs and MMLs, a part of Western Ghats, more than 20 years. And we are working very closely with the community to enhance their income from lantana invasive species like weeds to wealth concept. But we started a few years back and we are not able to make a dent in terms of increasing the business and designing the products. And thanks to SVP is helping us to create a sustainable business model for the community.
This project is exciting because it allows SVP partners to bring their corporate and business skills and acumen to the immense wealth of field expertise and knowledge that ATRI has to create social enterprises that will bring lasting change across the Western Ghat and Southern Forest region, but also creates a template that could potentially impact the forests across India and the environment across the rest of the world.
SVP Bangalore has also given wings to Justice in Care's efforts to not only rescue victims of human trafficking, but also rehabilitate them through training and access to a better livelihood for a better future.
We have reached out to SVP for support for our skill training and placements program. However, the collaboration has gone much beyond that, where we have received immense support from all the SVP partners, even before we have asked for them. Since we have been partnering with SVP, we have seen that there is immense potential in collaborating with all the SVP partners to address the issue of human trafficking.
SVP Hyderabad's key focus area has been agriculture, digital transformation and entrepreneurship.
SVP Hyderabad has currently more than 5 long-term, in-depth capacity building engagements with our community partners. These are Youth for Jobs that works with persons with disability, Craftisan and Safa that work with women from marginalized communities, Access Livelihoods Group that works with farmers, tribals and weavers, and Kheti that works with small and marginal farmers. Kheti started in late 2015. They provide greenhouse in a box solution to small and marginal farmers. In this greenhouse, a farmer can earn extra income of 6,000 every month by just spending 1 or 2 hours every day in the field.
One of the biggest challenges that we noticed with respect to our farmers and scaling this initiative is financing. Farmers require loans to buy these assets, but banks generally are not willing to give loans to smallholder farmers for asset financing because after all they are not bankable customers. So this was the biggest challenge that we faced. The role of SVP in this process is quite commendable. One of our partners connected us with Andhra Pradesh Gramin Vikas Bank. It has an excellent network in the areas where we work, and in simple terms, the loan processing time got reduced to 1/4 compared to what it was earlier.
SVP Hyderabad also supports Safa on its innovative program called Noor Salons with a vision to make beauty and wellness accessible for and by the women from underserved communities. They also focus on women empowerment in the city with livelihood training programs.
What I truly found meaningful in the partnership, which was very different in SVP, was that they have this immense treasure trove of talent and skills with them, which is extremely senior leaders from corporate houses, from the business entities, especially to Safa. That entire, basically it was like an array, like a buffet which was put out in front of us. And they said that you want help in finance, we have the right person. You want help in organizational management, we have somebody. In business and budgeting, we have people with us. And for us, it was like we were looking for such kind of opportunities for ourselves. And there's only one thing which I can say, that we met SVP in our 11th year of work. And I wish we had met them in the 2nd or the 3rd year of work. Probably this entire journey would have been less stressful for us.
SVP's journey in Kolkata started over 2 years back, and the key focus here has been on helping create sustainable livelihoods and inclusive employment that is not just focused on women, but also the differently abled individuals.
During the last 2 years, the Kolkata chapter has tried to do some great work in creating sustainable livelihoods. We have worked with 5 NGOs, 3 relationships which are already in their 2nd year, and 2 relationships which have just begun. These are Literacy India, Sukalyan Welfare Society, Mitti Cafe, Kadam, and Anahat for Change Foundation. The numbers at the end of 2021 would be over 600 impacted sustainable livelihoods. An association that we are extremely proud of is the one with Mitti Cafe. Having met Alina in Bangalore and having just had a coffee table discussion with her about bringing Mitti to Calcutta and actually seeing it turn into reality has been a dream come true. Alina has been featured in the Forbes Under 30 this year and has also received the Helen Keller Award.
Mitti Cafe is new for me and liked.
SVP found Mitti Cafe 3 years ago when they were 1 cafe, 1 month and 3 employees old. And they are giving a chance of livelihood to those who really need it the most.
Our first employee was this girl who came in crawling for the interview because at that point of time her parents could not afford a wheelchair. It's been 3 years for that girl. Today, sitting on her wheelchair, she manages 7 other people with disability. She is the manager for our first cafe. Her name is Kirti, and at Mitti we have hundreds of Kirtis who've been trained and employed by us in our various cafes. The aim is not 1 Kirti but 1 billion Kirtis. In the last 3 years, we've been able to serve 5 million meals across our 12 cafes. This would be several more million that will enable us to create awareness about inclusion, where our dream of making the world believe in the power and the magic of abilities would come true. Not for our Kirti, but for the billion Kirtis who have one or the other physical, intellectual or psychiatric disability across the world.
SVP has not just helped MITI scale, it has also helped it add a new dimension to the work it has been doing during the current pandemic. MITI has provided 7 lakh meals to daily wage workers. Meanwhile, Kadam, another not-for-profit supported by SVP Kolkata, focuses on rural entrepreneurship. It does so by training these communities that are skilled in creating products from locally available material.
More than 6,000 lives we have touched with our trainings. 600 artisans who are currently working with us. So the last mile in terms of the market linkage was a challenge for us to ensure the trainings do not go waste, especially after they have learned how to make marketable, quality, deliverable on time, product delivered on time. Those skills they had taken on. With the Kolkata chapter, the discussion started about a year ago, and they were very open to offer and fill in that need which we had for our organization, and not have a rigid format for us to fit in, And so they offered this last mile, which we really needed for all the trainings to be successful, 100%.
SVP's Delhi chapter began its journey in 2016 with a mission to create sustainable livelihood models. Through their mentoring and advisory, they have played a key role in scaling the future of youth at Virohan and Udayan Care in the country's capital.
One of our non-profits is Virohan. Virohan is trying to address the skill gap in the healthcare sector. Their solution includes a large spectrum of skill training in healthcare, from bedside assistant to operation theatre technicians. When we first met Virohan, they were an NGO, bright young founders, and a great pedagogy. We helped them through the process of converting into a for-profit organization, as we believe that their model is self-sustainable and scalable over a period of time.
Workforce readiness is a huge problem in India. There is a huge disconnect between demand and supply of the skills in the workforce across sectors, forcing the youth to compromise on aspirations, income, and location. In the healthcare sector, this problem is especially acute, and we wanted to fix that. While we've been focusing on supporting our students who are out there, Social Venture Partners has been doing the same for us. They've been a pillar of strength and support to us for most of our journey in building this organization. Everyone at SVP is very approachable. They spend time with us in breaking down complex issues and finding solutions, share their learnings from across sectors, and help us leap forward.
While Virohan works towards guiding youth who are college dropouts, Udayan Care, in its state-of-the-art orphanages, not only provides childcare to orphan kids, but also acts as a support system and safety net to them after they move out of these orphanages.
Udayan Care's association with SVP is now in its 5th year, and it is so much more than that of a donor and donee relationship. It's a partnership, because SVP is an involved philanthropy in every sense. Our team that have been looked after and mentored by Harsh Lohit through our IT program as it grew has really flowered and blossomed under his care. Right from the head of the program to every trainer who teaches every child that comes into our program. We're now starting our relationship in this year for our aftercare outreach program. And once again, we've benefited from the involvement of various members of SVP.
Pavi Ben is today an icon. Belonging to the Kachi Rabari community, she is the proud owner of a franchise that has made her famous. Her handcrafted bags are popularly known as Pavi bags and can be found in shelves across India. Today, Pavi Ben is inspiring and empowering others like her. SVP Ahmedabad has been a part of Paviben's fabulous story. It supports Banyan Tree, which runs Karigar Clinic, an NGO that helped Paviben script this success. While Karigar Clinic's Nilesh had helped Paviben set out in her journey, his association with SVP helped him put structure to his plans and ambitions for others like Paviben.
He had helped build a brand for her called paviben.com. In 3 years, from earning about 200 rupees a day, this woman started earning 30 lakhs a year and was employing about 200 artisans in her organization. But beyond this, Nilesh Bhai was quite lost as to how to move ahead and how to help other craftsmen and women achieve their dreams. This is where the SVP partners came in. They helped him institutionalize the organization, be it from assisting him in the nitty-gritties of how to go about accounting or what kind of labor laws would apply to the proprietorships he was trying to create, to how to build layers within his organization which would sustain growth.
SVP सिर्फ फंडिंग नहीं देता, पर फंडिंग के अलावा जहाँ जहाँ पर भी आवश्यकता रहती है, SVP हमेशा सपोर्ट करता है। SVP अलग अलग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ नेटवर्क एस्टेब्लिश करने में हेल्प करता है और साथ साथ में ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर को मजबूत करने के लिए सपोर्ट करता है और डिसिप्लिन वे में कैसे काम करना है उसके ऊपर भी वो अपने गाइडेंस देता रहता है।
Entrepreneurship has been at the heart of SVP Ahmedabad's focus, and it has also worked with tribal communities. It supports the Aga Khan Foundation's Rural Entrepreneurship Program, which does deep-rooted work with these communities.
The biggest learning we are having in this initiative is that tribal communities are first-generation entrepreneurs. That they need long-term interventions, long-term handholding, and much-needed professional services for making these enterprises sustainable. We found SVP's services very useful, particularly because of their professional capabilities and the networking they have in business world.
In Pune, SVP has touched the lives of the people in rural and semi-rural areas.
Two interventions that I think I'm really proud of is one with an NGO called Jagruti Seva Sanstha, where we train girls to become nursing aides, that's bedside assistants. And I think why I'm really proud of is in our journey with them for the last 4 years, we've been able to change over 1,000 lives, which I think is a brilliant thing to achieve. And changing lives of 1,000 women also means changing lives of those 1,000 families.
मी पहिले भांडे सरांकडे 3 महिने ट्रेनिंग केली शिकले त्यांनी पण चांगलं शिकवलं आम्हाला.
Subhash Bhande is a trainer at the Jagruti Seva Sanstha. He talks about how the healthcare assistants that trained under him have helped over 1,200 people recover from the COVID-19 pandemic.
आमच्या विद्यार्थिनींनी ग्रामीण भागामध्ये त्या भागामध्ये TRP BP त्या नागरिकांचा चेक करून सर्वे केला आणि या सर्वे मधून जवळजवळ 1200 नागरिक असे निवडले की ज्यांचं बीपी जास्त आहे, ज्यांना तीव्र सर्दी खोकला आणि ताप आहे. ही मंडळी जेव्हा त्यांच्या एरियातील खाजगी दवाखान्यामध्ये गेली त्यावेळी त्यांना कुठल्याही खाजगी डॉक्टरांनी उपचारासाठी घेतलं नाही. त्यांना आपण बरं करू शकलो आणि हे केवळ SVP आणि जागृतीमुळे शक्य झालं.
The other intervention that I really think is an interesting one, and I think I would love to work with them even in the future, is called Jnanada Flow Piping Technology. What they are aiming to do is training plumbers, men and women for plumbing, because there's a huge requirement, and also training them to become entrepreneurs, micro-entrepreneurs, which is the need of the hour.
We have been providing placement to all our students. So far we have given 100% jobs to all of our students. So all our students just after the training of 60 days technical training, they are definitely getting, assured they are getting a job of rupees 10,000 to 12,000 per month. Many of our students have created their own success stories and they are working on their own. and their turnovers are ranging from 25 lakhs to almost 3 crores.
In Mumbai, providing access to livelihoods to people from lower income backgrounds has been the key focus area for SVP. It has supported Pan IIT Reach for India Foundation or PARFI, a non-profit engaged in providing vocational education, training and placement.
One of the organizations that SVP Mumbai chapter is extremely proud to be associated with is PARFI. PARFI has a very simple livelihood model. With the help of its lead partner, Jagdish Acharya, PARFI was successfully able to connect with Crompton Greaves. They organized a session with them at their Jharkhand center. Crompton Greaves then sourced about 100 plumbers, welders and electricians for their organization. PARFI trained them for 3 or 4 months and then placed them at Crompton Greaves, giving them a guaranteed job and helping them increase or enhance their livelihood.
The partnership with SVP over the past many years have been wonderful. It emanates from the fact that we've learned it very deeply that collaboration is the only way to enable scalable, successful models in this space. SVP has been a wonderful network in form of just not enabling funding, but also giving extremely valuable mentoring and strategic inputs to make this happen.
Apart from helping solve the need for everyday technicians, SVP is also helping a not-for-profit like Soul's Arc. Established about 17 years ago, they have helped educate, train and create livelihoods for the differently abled.
Our focus was to ensure that vocational opportunities or higher education opportunities are available for everyone. And our special focus became individuals or young adults with autism and intellectual disabilities. One of the biggest challenges that we saw is that today there's no certification available for this population. There are no training courses which are available for them. There is also no recognition from the industry or the government or no initiatives from them to ensure that they get employed in the open market or the open workforce.
SVP not only supported financially the pilot, but also helped them connect with potential employers like Big Bazaar, Amazon and Flipkart, and have been able to do job mapping for these beneficiaries and making sure that they're able to work in such environments and create a better sense of livelihood for these beneficiaries.
Driven by passion and the mission to make a change, SVP chapters across India have helped over 50 NGOs scale and create livelihoods. This impact has been made possible because of another important element.
SVP leans heavily on the experience of the business leaders who act as chairs of each of our city chapters. Our chairs and partners are leaders who have made a mark in the corporate world and bring along their wealth of experience and best practices from there.
For the business leaders themselves, the journey with SVP has been personal.
One of the things that I find most satisfying about being involved with SVP Mumbai is when we see our NGOs flourish as a result of the efforts put in by our partners. Our diverse partner group have skills in so many different areas and they apply those skills to improve the outcomes at our NGOs, and I think that that's a great reward for both the NGO and the partners.
What appealed to me was it is an involved philanthropy. Philanthropy, by just writing a check and forgetting about it, doesn't end in itself. It's not an end in itself. Getting involved in bigger impact so that the NGOs that are working on ground can be more effective, more far-reaching and create bigger impact. I think that is the concept that SVP is working on, and that is what appealed to me, and that is why I think I got involved fully in SVP.
After 6 years, I can say that what I'm proud of is the fact that we have helped crack some fairly elusive problems and create success stories for them. Be it agriculture, where we have demonstrated that we could triple farmer incomes in a 3 to 5 year time frame, or disability, where we have proven that livelihoods and disability do not diverge and in fact go hand in hand. And we are creating new models for livelihoods related to environment as well.
The blessings and good wishes that you get
from the NGOs and beneficiaries are my source of inspiration, and I feel the most valuable possession that I have. It is indeed a very humbling and enriching experience. Wish I had not waited till my retirement from the corporate sector to be part of this wonderful SVP family. When you work with other like-minded partners and then you see the joy in a blind young woman who gets a really good job, or the confidence of a poor uneducated woman to stand in front of a large audience and give a speech, or you see a family of a sex worker rehabilitated, that joy is also an order of magnitude. So this is a wonderful, thrilling journey. I do feel that I'm learning a lot more myself than I'm giving.
I'm a part of SVP because I can engender change ethically and alongside some of the finest people on this earth.
SVP has been a gratifying journey from understanding the minds of donors to using skill sets and networks to help NGOs function effectively.
I've been a partner at SVP Pune since its inception almost 5 years ago. I think SVP, the chapter here, has been able to do many wonderful things and has had a huge impact. If I think of the two largest impacts that it has had, is really creating livelihoods for the most vulnerable of our population in the city. SVP has also looked at what gaps are existing, for example, healthcare workers, which are in need across the city in smaller hospitals and clinics, as well as in large medical organizations. And those gaps have been so effectively and adequately filled by SVP's initiatives.
When a partner walks up to me and says, I've loved engaging with this NGO, I feel I've learned a lot, and I feel I want to do much more in the sector. That to me is the most satisfying moment for me at SVP. What's equally satisfying is when an NGO walks up to me and says, I know that we finished our 3 years with you as SVP, but I'd like your partners to continue engaging with us. As I take on the mantle of the chairperson for SVP India, I have a huge responsibility ahead of me. SVP has been built on the foundation of strong contributions by Ravi Venkatesan and Ganesh Natarajan as prior chair people. It's very important that I build on that foundation and really make impact across India, across our 7 chapters, and taking that to even a larger pan-India focus.
The success of SVP has been driven by a clear vision, backed by passion and a meticulous game plan. SVP chapters have leveraged the learnings from the best practices adopted for corporate success and used it to build capacity and scale in NGOs, which are the change agents on ground. This strategy has helped SVP across the world, and never has the need for it been so clear as it is today.
What I love about SVP and why I stay engaged is that I think we have fundamental ingredients around how to go about social change. One is that we do it together, recognizing that we're more powerful as a collective than we are as individuals. Another is that it's about giving money plus other resources. Partners are giving time and using their skills and their voices to influence change as well. And third, that we're always learning. We approach problems knowing we don't have all the answers. And I believe that the secret sauce to SVP is those partnerships we have in our communities with nonprofit leaders and our proximity to learning about what's happening on the ground that makes all of us not only better givers, but more aware and better human beings.